It's a shame we met for but a fleeting moment, like a lightning flash in the night. I hope we will meet again under easier circumstances.
Guess what I saw in the refectory after supper yesterday?
Roast beef?
A polar bear! A live one!
Oh, stop with your leg.
You must believe us. Yes, perhaps we twisted the facts a little before, but now you know the whole truth. Find Ador and ask him about the events in Monpatri. He will bear witness to everything I told you.
I do not recognize you, Albert. So fiery, so determined.
Sorry, dear heart.
I've had such a good week. I've sold 6 magic tomes, 26 workbooks, and 4 spellbooks. Not bad at all. Wish I could say the same. How's it going for you? Not so bad. No one wants to buy expensive wines these days, and I can't make a living selling cheap booze to the side.
Today's a very important day for us, my lovely.
But why?
Because today, I finally screwed up my courage to ask you out on a date. The magic cards divined that you'd accept.
Perhaps.
Have you picked up a plague mask from Remedius yet?
I haven't. Why would I need one?
the overseer.
The most brazen thief I... First he scales the fence, now he wants to talk to the overseer. That is the fence. Anything else? I'm not opening the gate. The Mage Factory is closed.
I'm here on a mission from Prince Adrian. Do you know what's going on in there now? Have you been inside?
They paid me a heap of gold to guard this outpost, and a second heap to keep my mouth shut. I don't care if the prince or the king or the creator himself sent you. There's nothing for you here.
You want a piece of this?
Where do we go next?
Damned if I know. We're out of luck no matter where we go. Cedric drove them all away.
I've heard you're a marksman among marksmen.
So?
I got a job.
If you hear about the Mage Factory goods, I'm afraid I can't help you. That's it. The store's closed for good. You can thank the King's sorcerers for that.
You want a piece of this?
Have you seen the way Bond looks in Marlene?
Ha! I thought Bonnie was gonna cut her open. How long has she been trying to get out? A year now? 2?
If you count her service to Vivienne, a decade at least.
Scrolls, spells, potions. Best selection this side.
Careful!
Oh, beauty of beauties, you've stolen my heart.
Loyal subjects of the king, in the name of his royal majesty, King Claudius, sovereign of Neustria, defender of the realm, the citizens of this noble city, and our most noble...
Damn immigrants.
Have you picked up a plague mask from Remedius yet?
How do the mages do this? Ador, I summon thee.
I am here. Command, and I will obey.
The night you fled the mage factory, was there a ritual?
No. I do not want to go back. But I will. I will speak. Eliu's child, hear me. I saw them come from all over the earth. Lost ones seeking unity in the void. They called to it. Their songs reached out for the void, and the void answered. One of them was chosen and touched, and so it came to our world. The spell was lifted. My shackles fell to the ground, and I ran away. The blight. I was looking for salvation.
Is that all you saw? Who was performing the ritual? Do you know their names?
No. 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 I do not want. I will not. Fear. Void. The blight in the void. I see them not. I will not. There were many there like you. Before their souls were extinguished, I saw them. One, another, and another. Many there were. I witnessed the battle after I escaped. The Mage Factor woke the golems. He fought off the blight and saved many, and led them under the mountains.
So someone survived?
I see not through stone. The Mage Factor took them under the mountains. That is where they hid. The hole they went through was guarded by golems. They fought well, and the battle stopped. The wind carried their whispers to me. They prayed for salvation. They wept, and then void. Horrifying. I do not want. I will not. Mercy, do not make me see them, child of Eliu.
I think I've heard enough, Ador. You can stop there.
Void. The blight in the void. Horrifying.
Who's that?
Loyal subjects of the king, in the name of his royal majesty.
Oh, beauty of beauties, you've stolen my heart.
I love going for walks, especially on horseback.
On horseback? Enter Marcella, so as to ward ourselves.
I demand to be let into the citadel.
Entrance is forbidden to anyone not on this list.
What do we know about the preparations for the expedition to Mon Patry, Count? You promised to come to a decision any day.
Your Highness, the Archmage is standing his ground. I tried.
Ah, finally. So what happened at the Mage Factory? Did you determine the cause?
Allow me, Your Highness. Do you distrust the Royal Council? Your father never.
My dear Count, sometimes one opinion is not enough. Well, what did you find out?
The real cause of the disaster was a magical ritual. The culprits are an unknown cult that counts several subjects of the crown among its adepts. The magic used was not of this world. That spellcraft brought destruction down upon both the cultists themselves and the Mage Factory.
Do you have a witness or some proof to support this account?
Refugees from the Mage Factory and a captive spirit by the name of Ador. Spirits never lie. There is no better witness. Also, Ador saw the remaining survivors take refuge in the mines. They might still be alive, and if you're going to help them...
We must delay no longer. I entrust you with rescuing the survivors. Go to Mon Patry, extricate my subjects, and bring them to me.
Your Highness, the Mage Factory is quarantined by order of the Archmage Caithor, as I told you.
Since when does the Prince of Nostria bend the knee to an Archmage?
I am sorry, Your Highness, but that is not what we agreed.
Our agreement stands. But so far, all you have provided me are words. Words that cast suspicion upon the Royal Council as well as the Royal Order of Mages. Centuries-old pillars supporting the throne. Prove your suspicions with something substantial. Find the survivors and bring them to the Citadel. Do this, and if all is as you say, I will grant you the pardon you were promised. How do you like my decision, Count? I think that's how we're going to expose the truth.
Unthinkable. You have your task. What else do you want?
I know no way to get into the Mage Factory. Perhaps you could advise me.
There's no getting into the Mage Factory, and that, I'm afraid, is the end of it. I've been sending off letters to the Archmage for days. How many replies do you suppose I've received? The Royal Council is powerless here, and there are no legal ways into the Mage Factory. Although, perhaps you could interrogate your precious witnesses. I don't expect they know anything useful, but why not?
Anything else?
Of course, Your Highness. I fear they won't let me into the Mage Factory just like that, with no papers to show.
I cannot help you with that. Ever since the days of Maximus, Archmages have recognized no authority but the king. If Kaythorn has decided to quarantine the Mage Factory, neither I nor the Royal Council are in a position to reverse his decision. In order to get through the quarantine, you need a document carrying the king's personal seal. My father is recovering, but...
But how am I to complete this task?
If Kaythorn has decided to quarantine the Mage Factory, neither I nor the Royal Council have the authority to reverse his decision. But please, exercise some discretion. We don't want a conflict with the Archmage right now.
To me. I am Prince Adrian's personal squire. Troublesome news.
And here, disciples, is the depiction of the first
Watch it.
Archmage, Nevitus. Who can tell me what great invention is the Archmage's legacy?
Magnus is sitting.
Watch it! You rumbled my best.
Sorry to interrupt, but could you pass?
Magistrate, sir, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Master Crewman, the head of the Floster Merchants Guild.
You again. I'm very busy. Excuse me.
Allow me. And you're not excused. You must answer my plea. I handed it in properly, with a whole bunch of accompanying papers and permits. It's been a month and a half already, and I still don't have an answer.
Ladies, have you heard the story of Agalbarag?
How's that one go? Is that the father of your dwarven king? A goblin pirate prince? Or is it one of the ancient dragons? I always get confused.
Loyal subjects of the king, in the name of his royal majesty, King Claudius.
Have you heard? Felicia's son sent for another gift. Lucky cow. The guard, Cleve. He's a bandit.
to drive. Loggy?
This bread is so good.
Oh, you're back to ask more questions. But you haven't brought any aid.
Norman has gone to the Mage Factory. He must know a way inside. What is it?
Ah, yes. It's really simple. There's a secret passage neither the mages nor the guards knew about. It leads from the foundry straight to the outside. They call me Bludgeon's underling, but all the master craftsmen had dealings with him and his smugglers. Norman was no exception.
Could you elaborate?
There's a man named Barry. I can't say anything about it without his okay. I gotta be careful, you see. You can find him in Bludgeon's den. He can tell you everything. Well, if he chooses to, obviously.
I'm so hungry.
You're the one who brought us back.
This bread is so good.
I could just eat until I drop.
You're a marksman among marksmen.
So?
I told you, there's no more merchandise. The shop's closed.
It's not the shop I'm interested in, but the Mage Factory. A little mouse told me you can take me there via a secret passage.
What secret passage? I don't know anything about it. I'm a simple merchant purchasing goods in Floster. Folks, does anyone have any idea what this is about? These people from Marcella are asking odd questions.
You can help me, and you will. There are survivors in there. I must get into the Mage Factory at any cost. And I do mean any cost.
Do I look like a fool to you? I don't know you from this. Support me. If someone were to vouch for you, then we could talk. But as it stands, I know nothing about any passage. If you hear about the Mage Factory goods, I'm afraid I...
I'm taking hours.
Anyone can tread on. Anyone can tread on.
that wonderful fresh bread from our...
So you had some too?
I sure did. So sour you could hardly force it down.
Well, what is it? Tell me, is it pretty? It is. Towers tall as the sky, pure white.
You again. What else do you want? Surely you can see I have work to do.
I need to get into the Mage Factory. Do you know any secret ways that circumvent the quarantine?
Are you kidding? I'm head of the guards. I closed down every known passage, though there is the tunnel used by the Foundry craftsmen for their side business. If you could find one of them. Norman, for example. Did he survive, by the way?
He did. I'll be sure to ask him when I see him next.
Then can we wrap this up? I've still got lots of work to do here. George will skin me alive if I don't finish on time.
Well, what is it? They do all sorts of work with the crowd, studying the elements and whatnot,
How do you like that wonderful fresh bread from our dairy?
Aha,